So, dude, how you doing, man? I mean, honest question. Like, how are you doing? But I want you to understand something. When I say I'm happy, it doesn't mean that I'm happy and I'm poor.
Yeah.
If you're having these conversations, can you please let me know?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because they're being insane anymore.
2026 has been a great year for the Vortex. Goals are gone because Phil is in a resurgence and more normies are looking at him than ever. We mouth droolers are eating well. Today, I want to talk about DSP's drunk dial to Wings of Redemption. There's so much to unpack here. Big ups Meerkat for being the European hero to clip this. Let's hyperfixate and hyperfocus, shall we?
No, I subscribe to you, and I randomly, every once in a while, I'll click on your stream if I see it live. And tonight I saw Arc Raider. I was like, what the hell? He's playing Arc Raiders? Like, he never plays Arc Raiders.
The first thing I want to point out is nothing on YouTube is random. If you see a stream, it's probably because you've clicked on that stream before. So you are at least habitually or regularly watching and clicking on Wing streams. So it wasn't random. You clicked on it for a reason. It was recommended for a reason. Why? Because you're lonely. We'll get more into that later, but I'm going to let him go for a bit.
So I clicked on it to see what you were doing, and immediately these guys are like talking detractor memes to you. I don't know if you realized that.
I don't.
Did you even know what they were saying?
I did not. Is that otter shit? What is that?
No, so I know they were talking about like otter shit. I have no idea what that is, but they were doing that countdown stuff, like a 13 or 14, 13, 12, whatever the fuck that is, like a countdown stuff. And the second they did that, I was like, that's a detractor meme that this guy gets hit with all the time. And then I'm listening to what they're saying, and they're talking about otters. I'm like, this is not legit stuff. They're trying to bombard his stream with something that's going to get attention.
And attention they got, because you called into a public stream and pointed it out to Wings. There is a lot of power in either ignoring something or being blissfully ignorant about something. Before you hopped on the call and pointed all of that out, whatever otter meme they were spamming in chat or talking to him in voice held no power. You have given Wings trolls power. Congratulations, DSP. Great friend.
And of course, they're not playing legit. Dude, they're just messing with you. You know, this is...
I mean,
sorry,
I didn't doubt. I don't have enough time in the game. I got like 6 hours in the game. Like I said, I don't know I know how to do the buttons and the rolls and everything, but like I could give a shit less about like what the kit looks like and things like that. But like we were winning our gunfight, so I was like, okay, I guess they're playing good enough, right?
Yeah, to my knowledge, there's nothing in the game about otters at all. I've been playing it, I played it over 20, 30 hours, like 2 months, and I don't even know what the hell they were talking about.
Side note, DSP played 30 hours of Arc Raiders, probably even more than that, and he barely scratched the surface. He never even got into a legitimate PvP gunfight. So just let that sit with you out there, all my fellow Raiders. DSP never got in an honest-to-God gunfight in all of his time with Arc Raiders. I have a massive bias towards Arc Raiders. I've got over 100 hours. I'll put my Steam clock on the screen for you. I'm pretty much an Arc Raiders no-lifer, or I have been until the past month or so. Great game. Play it. Phil doesn't know what he's missing.
Like, they were guiding you through it at a basic level, but I don't know what the hell was going on there. And I just had that really big suspect moment where they started doing the countdowns. I'm like, oh no. Like, I have a feeling this is not going to go well.
I didn't catch that when they did it. Like, I guess I was too busy.
Yeah, and you will be, because you don't know what's going on. You know, you're in a world you're not used to, a gaming world that you're not adjusted to.
And I was also trying to be funny while playing.
Imagine that. A streamer focusing on the game and the entertainment value of his stream instead of obsessively fixating on something he thinks is a troll meme. I hate to say this. Actually, no, Wings deserves the W on this. You could learn a few things from Wings, Phil. He's a better streamer than you, as low T as he is.
Right. So, dude, how you doing, man?
There it is. That right there is the one line that got me to want to talk about this. So, dude, how you doing, man? That is DSP drunkenly feigning concern for Wings. I say feigning concern because he's not concerned. You'll hear in the next couple of seconds that he's not actually listening. What he actually wants is he wants Wings to ask him how he's doing. Thus begins the therapy session. He's not calling to connect as a friend, he's calling because he's lonely and he can't talk to his wife, who's apparently sleeping right next to him with noise-canceling headphones because the neighbors, wink wink, I think by neighbors she means Phil, are too fucking loud. But as I say, we'll get to that later.
I mean, honest question. Like, how are you doing? Because I only see you from like a weird perspective of I don't watch your content all the time. And I interviewed you a couple months ago or a few months ago now. I hope you're doing well. Or like genuinely I mean that. Like
I've gave up soda at this point, and I'm kind of down because like I'm not seeing the numbers on the scale to reflect me giving up soda.
Hate to break the news to you, pimp, but you're not going to see the numbers go down on the scale if you're literally playing Call of Duty at 4 a.m. to wait till the Chick-fil-A opens so that you can get Chick-fil-A for breakfast. That's not going to make those numbers go down. I don't think soda is the problem.
And like every time I talk about it in the chat, it sucks because everybody becomes a nutritionist and everybody tells you how to do something the best way to do it. You probably deal with the same thing in your chat. And that sucks because like I want to use the chat as like a Dear Diary, whereas like I just want you guys to listen and let me be I need y'all guys to be a therapist. I don't need nutritionists right now.
Ah, yes, kindred spirits. What is it with lolcows using their chat as therapy? First of all, just public service announcement to anybody out there. Do not use a stream chat as therapy. You're going to get torn up. You're going to get clipped. And it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to look really bad and really cringe. And we'll get stuff to talk over and laugh at like this. So just don't do it. Don't do it.
And that sucks because that never works. That just makes me look like an asshole most of the times.
Proves my point. Okay, continue.
Dude, I'm going to give you credit at least for trying to quit soda. If you have actually legitimately done that.
I've legitimately quit. Like I've got Crystal Light in my hand right now. Like that's what I wanted to get. It's like it's like Mio. It's like it just flavors water.
Yeah, oh, I know. I've had Crystal Light before. I used to drink the one that had the caffeine boost too. So I was having it as like a double supplement to replace sugar and energy drinks as well, or like soda. But good for you.
I don't like the patronizing tone that DSP used there. He's acting like Wings called him when it's quite the opposite. Phil called Wings, so don't act like you're doing Wings a favor. You called because you're a lonely coward who didn't have anyone to talk to, can't even talk to your wife, and now you're acting like you're doing Wings a favor. This is something that addicts do, and I'm by no means an expert on addiction, but I've dealt with addiction in my family. A lot of times, addicts will call someone in the middle of the night they think is in a worse place and might be more pathetic than them and act like they're doing a favor so that they can say to themselves, you know what? I may be a pathetic addict. I may be not my best self, but at least I'm not that guy. And you know what? This call conveys that energy perfectly. DSP is thinking to himself, I may be a washed up streamer who begs for money during the day, but at least I'm not Wings. At least I'm not fat. This is very disingenuous, and he is not helping Wings. He's trying to help himself feel better. This is therapy for him. This is soothing for him. This is a coping mechanism for him. And do not get that twisted.
That's the first step. That's the sugar, the sugar supply to your body that you definitely do not need. And you can, obviously, within a month you're losing weight just because you switched what you're drinking on a daily basis. So, well, good for you on that.
I was down 8 pounds, but like, I don't know. Like it's
no, I know, dude. I know
it fluctuates on the scale. Like the problem is like when you're as big as I am, there could be like, and I don't want to sit there and make excuses, but like my what's that shit called that diabetics have to, my insulin levels could be up, which I'm not a diabetic, by the way. I'm not a diabetic at all. But, my insulin levels could be up, and just because my insulin levels up means I won't lose weight.
Yeah, you're gonna make initial changes. You're gonna see success right away, and then it's gonna stop, and then it's gonna go again, then it's gonna stop. I get it. In my opinion, the first thing you're doing is the right thing.
You know, DSP, I'll give this one to you. It is commendable for you at least sending Wings some kind words about his weight and his weight loss journey. I get it. That's great for you. I love it for you. But is there another overweight person, perhaps closer to you in both relationships and proximity, that you should be supporting instead of a late 30s man you barely know online? Your wife.
But you know as well as I do, there's so much more that has to happen after the initial drink stoppage. And the thing is, for you, you're under so much stress all the time. And I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I see what your detractors say about you. And
well, it's not even it's not even that. There's that thing that I talked about with you privately that.
Oh, come on, Jordy. You should know by now, in however long you've been watching DSP, do not share anything with him privately. He will inevitably weaponize it and use it against you. All right, let's keep going.
That's stressful.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're all through this. Like, anyone on the internet who is a public face constantly has so much going on that people don't understand.
You don't ever feel like I've always put it like this way. Like, if I was to, like, let's say our job was a regular job. Say we're doing like Excel spreadsheets, right? And to put it apples to apples, like every time I'd go to click on an Excel spreadsheet box, someone would take my mouse and move it 5 feet to the right. That's what it feels like to do this job with the level of like scrutiny that me and you both get. There's a lot of people. We're not by ourselves in this, but it feels like there's always somebody trying to move the goalpost 5 feet every time you go somewhere.
Oh no, he said it. He said move the goalpost. What are we going to get from DSP now?
So you never can get ahead because of that.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter when you get to the level that we're both at, where you have so many people who are micromanaging every single thing you do. They're analyzing every single thing you say and how you do it, every mannerism that you move on camera, right? It doesn't matter if you improve, if you actually do or not.
That is 100% not true. If you improved DSP and Wings, people would leave you alone. It is a fact that if somehow tomorrow you became a better streamer, fewer people would troll you and make fun of you. You're using this as an excuse because A, you don't want to improve, and B, you're not that good. You were never that good. Wings had something. Wings had some kind of natural charisma where he was able to talk over Call of Duty videos, tell stories, and develop a pretty good following. You, DSP, never really had a hook. You just were one of the first guys to upload gameplay. You would know life games. You'd have an entire playthrough up in a night. That's how you got noticed. But Wings, and I'm probably going to get flack for this in my comments section, I believe Wings had something. He had something a little more than what you had. Both of you have exceeded your shelf life on YouTube. You should have gotten out 10 years ago, but you're here now because you have a 17-year work gap and there's nothing else you can do. So everything that has followed you getting on YouTube, attaining a modicum of popularity, and then now, as you say, not being able to rise above the trolls, that's all on you. Those all stem from decisions you've made.
To them, it's just another thing for them to cover. It's just another thing for them to make content out of. If you're doing bad or good. And that's the thing. You could do bad, you could do good. They don't care. All they want to do is get another video, another little clip, another sound bite, another thing to post on Reddit, another thing to post on X that they can make money off of.
Phil is not entirely wrong here, but it's still a very poor excuse. And again, it's something that addicts say. Alcoholism is a good example of this. A lot of alcoholics will always say to the people judging them or reprimanding them or even trying to help them for their alcoholism, they'll say, nothing I do is ever good enough, so why do anything? He's creating himself a permission structure to always do what he wants, never improve, and never get better. If you're doing it for the trolls, there's no point in doing it, man. You got to do it for yourself. And that's the same thing with addiction. That's the same thing with any sort of challenge. Don't do it for anybody else. Do it because you want to do it. And he clearly doesn't want to improve, and Wings clearly doesn't want to improve, and they use their trolls and their critics as excuses.
And you get to the point where it doesn't matter anymore because you know that no matter what you do or say, they're going to say you did the wrong thing. So for me anyway, at the point I am in my, and I say career and everyone laughs at me, career,
we've
right?
been doing
Yeah,
this
it's
shit
a
almost
career.
20 years. Like, that's a career.
Right.
It's one
to
thing if
them,
you're just
it's like,
starting out calling it a career, but like, nah, dog. Like, my face has got gray hairs from this shit.
No, your hair is generally going to gray either way with age, no matter what you're going to do. That comes down to pure genetics. At that point, you're getting gray hairs for showing up. So you can't exactly equate getting gray hair as a impact of your career. It's not. You just happen to be like a mid-game streamer. I'm not buying that one, Wings. You could have done better. You could have done anything else.
well, they laugh at us, right? And they say, oh, what you do is so easy. It's like, yeah, you try sitting in front of a public audience for 20 years. Well, for me, it's like around 18 years. You're around 19 years, actually, at this point. And say that you can survive it. And you can still be pertinent and have people who watch you every day who even give a shit. So many people have faded into the background, right?
Phil, you're looking at this the complete wrong way. The dream of streaming would be to stream for a few years, establish yourself, use your creative cachet to parlay into other ventures so that you never have to work again. And there's plenty of streamers that have done that. There's plenty of streamers that never have to work a day in their life again if they don't have to. And you missed the boat on that. You had countless people from Machinima saying, well, what do you want to do outside of YouTube? We can set you up with game commentary or make, possibly YouTube shows or movies. And you just said, no, I want to sit and do my YouTube. You are where you are because you've chosen to stay there.
But for us, we've been doing it so long, and no matter what we do, people will be out there saying we're doing the wrong thing. It doesn't even matter. I've made this point. It doesn't matter if we cured cancer, if we fought off an alien invasion, if we stopped a dimensional rift that was going to end Earth. It doesn't matter. They'll be like, oh, well, you farted when you did it.
No, that's not true. Generally speaking, DSP, people judge you through your actions. I can give you a very good example of this that's pretty close to you, actually, Phil. Kino Casino. I do not like Andy Worski, and I do not like PPP as people. I think they're detestable. I think they're scum as individuals. However, they do make me laugh when they're making fun of you and they're making multiple DSP films. I am able to judge them based on their actions, in this case, against you, versus their politics, because I think their politics are dog shit, and I think that they're terrible people. But boy, does PPP make me laugh. And boy, do those Dented Zone films make me laugh. So I'm willing to sort of hang a lot of that stuff up and watch their shit because I think it's funny.
Oh, well, yeah, I did. But, I kind of did the right thing. Oh, it doesn't matter. You farted. So now we make a video on it. So, so that's the thing. It doesn't matter what we say or do. These people will always make a buck saying we did the wrong thing. So who cares? I don't care anymore. I really don't. All I care about is entertaining my own audience.
If you're a full-time streamer and you only care about your own audience, you are running a cult and you deserve the pitiful, pathetic audience you have. You have done this yourself, Phil.
The people who are there every day,
See,
who like who I am,
it's like you're
who like
there.
what I do.
I'm just burned out. Like,
Oh, I hear you.
I'm just burned out.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
know that, dude. Dude, you're playing Arc Raiders tonight. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I know he hates this game.
Because people are like, oh, you got to do new stuff. You got to do new stuff. And like, yeah, like what I like playing hasn't led to a lot of success, right? So like, it's like, all right, you want me to play Arc Raiders? Arc Raiders is the biggest game. Because I was making the point, like, Burnt Peanut doesn't do much more than I can do, right? Like, he just makes fun of people while playing Arc Raiders. I do the same thing on Red Sect.
And that's what makes these guys lol cows. They don't understand the cult of personality when DSP is ironically running a cult. Burnt Peanut succeeds the way he succeeds because he does things in a way that only he can do. It's very personality based. He's carved out his own audience. It just happens to be massive. Jordy Jordan cannot do what Burnt Peanut does. These guys don't understand a fundamental principle of entertainment. They're trying to copy. Bad entertainers copy, good entertainers steal. What do I mean by that? Copying something means that you're just lifting it or repeating it directly while not understanding or transforming it in any kind of meaningful way to make it your own. Stealing a concept is taking it, tweaking it, and making it something bigger, better, and unique.
And I was trying to prove a point. Like, I could get on Arc Raiders and be just as entertaining as Burnt Peanut. And I think people are having like a bias against me because of that fact.
Right. I'm going to say something up front. You need to stop comparing yourself to people who are like ridiculously overblown successful, because that is your biggest problem. You look at guys like Burnt Peanut, or you reference other people who are streaming Battlefield and they're blowing up.
Phil's actually kind of correct on this one. You shouldn't compare yourselves to massive streamers, because massive streamers, though they may put a lot of effort in, a lot of what gets you noticed is timing and luck and some kind of special sauce. Continue, Phil.
Dude, you're not like them, and I'm not either. You understand? We're at a different level because of what's happened to us, because of the level of scrutiny, the level of harassment we've gotten, and we're lolcows.
Oh, Phil, you were so close to making a point there. No, you're totally wrong on this one. You are not on a lower level because you're lolcows and you're ridiculed. You're on a lower level because at baseline, even without the trolling, you're not that good. Arguably, without the trolling, you'd be less prominent and less noticeable. So trolling benefits you.
Not that we want to be, but we are. You cannot look at guys like them and be like, oh, well, they're better than, I could do what they do. It won't work. You could literally do exactly what Burnt Peanut or someone else does. No one will care. Okay? What we have to do is we have to find a way to appeal to an audience that actually cares about guys of our stature.
So what you're saying, Phil, is you don't want to self-improve? The internet is a numbers game, Phil. The bigger audience and the wider reach you have, the more money you could potentially make, the more eyes you could potentially get. Best way to grow an audience is to be better and self-improve. So maybe look inward and make yourself a little better. But no, DSP just wants to sit on his stream and collect money from the same 15 people while complaining that there are no goals, but the streams aren't that good anymore. Okay, Phil, you can stay exactly where you are.
And I think it's taken a long time, right? I've made tons of mistakes over the years, but I think I have done that. I've found an audience that likes who I am, what I do at the level that I do it, and I'm happy. And it took a long time for me to say that. Like, that's actually hard for me to say that. I'm happy because I'm not big.
Happy people don't have to say that they're happy. And this is the biggest lie Phil tells on this call. If you were happy and fulfilled, you wouldn't be calling another lolcow in the middle of the night, would you? I will admit that there are certain people I may call in the middle of the night should I need help. But my point is, you don't call someone at 2 a.m. unless you need help. And let me tell you, DSP calling Wings of Redemption in the early hours of the morning is a fucking cry for help. His happiness is a lie.
I'm not rich, but I'm happy doing what I do every day. And a lot of people don't believe me when I say that. Maybe you don't even believe me when I say that. But I actually genuinely am happy with the content I put out.
But I can't settle for that though. It's not even about getting rich. Like, I got a wife that had thyroid cancer and it could come back any day. So like, I have to save for the future. Like, there's gonna be
no. Okay.
She's
I
gonna get
understand what you're saying, dude. I totally understand what you're saying, but I want you to understand something. When I say I'm happy, it doesn't mean that I'm happy and I'm poor.
Yeah.
It means I'm happy and I'm doing good too.
And if there's one thing DSP doesn't like to be called, it's poor. I will admit, he is not poor, not by any stretch of the imagination. However, there have been times where he has been comically broke, and there's a massive difference between being broke and being poor. Poor is a matter of circumstances. Broke is a matter of habits. DSP is not for lack of money. He has a spending problem, as we've seen with his 10 wrist rests.
Like, I'm in the best position of my life financially, and things are going good, even though my detractors say the opposite, which I'm sure they're all analyzing our talk right now.
Because they like put you on fucking live stream fails the other day because you had a $20 session with Call of Duty. It's like, this sucks, right?
I have to correct Jordy here. The detractors didn't put Phil on live stream fails. Phil put himself there. If Phil didn't constantly act like a dumbass and a lol cow, he wouldn't be on LSF. But now LSF has his scent, and boy oh boy are they putting him up on that subreddit almost daily, and I'm here for it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you.
It sucks to make $20 after you play a game you hate for 3 hours. It's like, well, I just wasted my time doing this.
Yeah, but they're retarded because I made $20 playing Call of Duty. Actually, after I made $50 on a podcast, and then I made $20 after I quit Call of Duty.
So that's $90 at best, I think, if my math is correct. $90 is not a good stream for you, is it, Phil? You said it yourself. There have been recent streams where you've gotten $80 or $90 and you've said it wasn't a good stream because we can't talk about the goals anymore, can we? Not after the Asmongold bump.
And then I made ad revenue on that, and then I made Kick revenue because I'm part of the Kick Partner Program. Do you see what I'm saying?
And what are you getting for ad revenue on your videos, Phil? 15 cents? And what do you get per hour on your Kick Partnership Program? $2? It's still not much. You're not trying to convince Wings or anyone else of anything. This is all for you. You're trying to convince yourself that it's not that bad. And it is that bad. You're in a pretty bad way, pal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what they're saying is bullshit. I didn't make $20 on a stream. I haven't made $20 on a stream in like 10 years.
But
that's
they
nonsense.
they got a little snippet of where you complained about it, and they just used it and utilized it.
Exactly. That's absolutely right. And that's what they always do. So I'm happy and I'm doing good. I want you to understand that, like, I'm doing well financially. I'm not rich, but I'm also certainly not poor. I'm at a good place and things are getting better. They've been getting better for like 3-4 years in a row. And funny because people look at views, right? And I know you too, right? You look at your channel, you look at views, and you say, "Oh God, the views, views." It's not about the views. I
want the views to trend upward. Like, I want to feel like I'm gaining somewhere.
I hear you, because when everyone on YouTube looks at things like sub count and they look at view count and they look at that, honestly, someone actually sent me something a couple years ago, and it kind of changed my whole mindset. They sent me something that was like, how to make a great living if you have a business that has 1,000 happy customers.
I'll give him this partially. There is some truth to a sustainable business needing 1,000 happy customers, and it can kind of keep going. But he does not have 1,000 happy customers. If you only consider the people that contribute money to be a customer, and it's less than 20 people at this point, you are asking people for everything. You're asking them for money, you're asking them for likes, you're asking them for views, and you've got at best 15 people that sustain your lifestyle. You do not have 1,000 happy customers, Phil.
And I read it, I was like, this makes so much sense. It changed my mindset. If you just have 1,000 people on this planet who like you and want to keep supporting you, that's way more important than having a ginormous, insane, viral amount of people who join you for a few minutes a day and then leave, or won't even ever support you.
He completely misunderstands the idea of having 1,000 happy customers support your business. The idea is to make your product so good and so valuable that repeat business is inevitable amongst those 1,000 customers and some others. That's not inclusive of begging, Phil. If you do not beg, you do not get as much money. Therefore, your business is not sustainable with the customers you've got.
They're just there to see because you're popular, right? And then they don't care and they leave. And a few years ago, someone sent me an article. Darkside Phil is the most well-supported guy on Twitch. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And then I read the article and it was like, you know, in scale of how many views and subs Phil has, he has people who support him more than the average person. And they showed like statistics, and I'm reading it. I'm like, it was wrong.
No, it was not wrong. It was actually based on factual information from Twitch leaks. And it did show that per viewer, you had the highest amounts of bits and subs donated.
But still, it was kind of right. Like, yes, my people who watch me all the time and like my content support me more than the average viewer who will just join someone and be like, I'm just here to watch and I'm out of here. And that's really what we have to find. Guys like us who've been around for so long, we're never going to blow up. Dude, I'm telling you right now. I told you in the interview in October, I'm telling you again. We're not going to blow up for a good reason. There's no way we can blow up for a good reason. Too many people think we're jerks, think we're assholes, think we're the scum of the earth. We have to find a way to appeal to a small crowd who actually like us for who we are and see through the bullshit and just make content we love.
So the real solution is to get all parasocial and just keep asking for money until someone eventually breaks down and gives it to you. Okay, Phil. Well, it's worked well enough for you so far. You might as well get Jordy doing it.
And that is how we're going to find success. And I think you can do it because I'm finding that now. I'm changing my methodology. I'm playing more indie games. I'm doing a variety of content. I know you can do it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say this publicly because everyone's listening to this. I know you can do it.
Stop patronizing Wings, Phil. On average, he gets more views than you, and people are pretty cool to just hang out in his chat and chill, and he actually plays games with people with some regularity. He's way ahead of you, man, so just stop. Stop being so goddamn condescending, okay?
It's just tough because you're going to have so much against you. You're going to have so many people saying you can't do it because, oh, look at all these failures that Jordy has had in the past. No, you can do it, dude. I know you can. I have confidence in you that you can do it. Like, I have just found the way to do it, but it's not going to be playing a game you know you hate, having these assholes join your party and dumping the N-word, and that's not your fault. But man,
Oh, they will use it against me hard. Even though there's entire videos on YouTube where it just spouts off that YouTube has movies hosted on their website that they'll ban you for. I don't know.
Right. That's right. And they're doing it on purpose. That was 100% when I saw you were playing that game. I was like, he needs to make some bucks tonight. And I get why he's doing it. And the second I heard these guys talking, I was like, oh no.
I don't like to mislead people at all. Like I have a lot of the low-cal money still. I have a lot of it. And I have a lot of it invested, but like I invested everything into things like CDs and like Roth IRAs and things like that.
Savings, you say? Tell me more, Jordy. This is going to be a foreign concept to DSP. Imagine saving money. Imagine planning for not only if it rains, but if you have a medical emergency or say you get a wheel stolen off your car. Imagine planning for stuff like that. Not DSP. No. He just had 2 good streams. He doesn't need a plan. What are you talking about, Jordy?
And I can't touch it, right? I have my 6-month emergency fund, and I have what's in my checking account. And I try to balance my life around making a certain amount of money every month to make sure I can put money away for my retirement, emergency funds, and pay my bills, right? And still live like comfortably. So that's my goal. Like I tell people, like, don't give me your last dollar. I'll figure me out. Right. But you're saying we can't blow up, and my goal is not to blow up. My goal is just to be sustainable, right? Like I'm not looking to be Burnt Peanut with 75,000 users making $600,000 a month, right? Would it be nice? Yeah, anybody would want that.
That's the thing with these guys. They just say, I don't want to grow. I just want to maintain. I just want to sustain. No, you don't get to be complacent if you're a full-time streamer. Me, I can neglect this channel for 8 months because it's not my full-time thing and I got money coming in from a real job. But if I was doing this full-time, you better know I'm going to be grinding every day trying to get every last view and penny I can possibly scoop up. But with these guys, all they want to do is maintain, and that is not enough because that's mediocre. And when you're doing this as your full-time job, mediocrity is unacceptable. You should always be grinding, always be improving, always be looking for the next thing. It's not enough to rely on the kindness of strangers because people are fickle and YouTube is fickle. So you need to do better.
But at the same time, there's a lot of responsibility when you got the fucking golden scepter that, you know, a lot of people don't understand either, right? Because like Burt Peanut, any kind of he says something wrong, it's going to be the end of his career. Like Dr. Disrespect is a bad example of that, but it's an example of that, right? Because he used to be the guy with the golden scepter.
Right. So here's the thing. I feel like you can succeed. I do. But it's not going to be sitting there all day playing Red Sec. And I know you love Red Sec. I know it's your favorite game right now because you hate Call of Duty. And to be honest, I agree with you. Battlefield 6 this year, dude, Battlefield 6 this year is much better than Call of Duty. I couldn't play Battlefield 6 because it's a team game. And I don't play team games, right? I don't. I play solo games. So I tried so hard to make Black Ops 7 be a good game. I bought equipment to fucking make the game work on my streams, and no one will watch it. No one will watch this game.
You bought equipment to make the game work, including 10 wrist rests. Maybe after buying like thousands of dollars worth of shit, you'd actually look inward and realize that the constant is you and you need to improve. You can have the best tools money can buy, but if at baseline you're lacking and you're just not that good, you're never going to be good without any kind of training or improvement. But DSP, no, he never needs to practice. He never needs to self-reflect. He'll just buy a new mouse and it's all cool. He'll be fine.
Even though I played a stream, I suck at Call of Duty, and I had a positive kill death ratio every match of like 2.0, and no one would watch it. Everyone agrees Call of Duty sucks this year, and you're good at Battlefield. But I'm going to tell you, my best advice to you right now: stop playing Red Sec on stream. You heard what I just said. Stop playing Red Sec on stream. Keep playing Red Sec in your personal life because you love it.
Personally, I don't like it. I tolerate it. Like I don't like first person. I don't like first person shooters at all. I don't like video games for the most part. There's certain video games I like. Right now, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 in my personal time because I kind of like Baldur's Gate 3, but it's what it is. I play Diablo 2 in my free time. I hate first person shooters. I've been playing for 30 years at a high level. I fucking detest them. Like they're the same shit over and over again. And once you get good at them, you just realize people are fucking you with the cheapest shit in the game. And it just irritates you.
But if the things that are beating you are part of the meta, shouldn't you learn the meta or at least learn to counter the meta and still be good? Like that's something I really don't like about Phil's attitude and then about Street Fighter and things. And then, you know, I guess now Jordy's attitude about Red Sec and other shooters. If you're good, people using quote unquote cheap shit shouldn't matter. You should be better than the cheap shit, man. You should rise above it.
Like,
all right. So you do like certain kinds of video games.
Yeah, you know when you play Street Fighter,
isometric RPGs.
You know when you play Street Fighter, and you know like when somebody's cheesing the fuck out of you, or they're zoning you, or they're like getting a free throw out you, and like they're just using the cheesy character to beat you, and how it sucks ass, and you know it because you have so much experience that you know this person's beating you because they're being cheesy. That's same thing happens in first person shooters when you get good at them. You realize that you lost this because somebody's using the meta gun or they got you at a right angle or some shit like that. And it just irritates you. It doesn't even when you do well. Like the other day I was playing Red Sect and I squad wiped a 4-man by myself with a scar. Didn't even flinch. No adrenaline enough, no dopamine hit, nothing. I don't even give a shit. I'm like, all right, fuck. At least that's over. Like that's the feel of it.
Yeah, you'll lose all satisfaction because
there is
you
no
realize
satisfaction.
Exactly. The modern version is such a pale comparison to what used to be good that you don't even feel any kind of excitement or enjoyment when you win because it didn't mean anything. It's not like it used to be back in the day when it had skill involved, right?
All right, I'm going to take a minute to talk about memory versus perception. I truly believe that this whole nostalgia thing that Jordy and DSP are on right now in this particular segment is not about games used to be better. It's about I played certain games at a better time in my life, and I'm remembering a better time in my life when things are better, I was making more money, and I was happier, generally speaking. DSP is thinking back to a time when he had a much younger, willing girlfriend than his wife now, and he was making a lot more money, and he was raking it in. He had very few concerns. And Jordy was thinking about the time when he was hanging out with Woody's Gamertag and all those PKA guys, and when he used to be able to just rake in money making low-effort Call of Duty commentary videos. Those days are gone. They don't hate games because games are worse. They hate games because they used to have more fun with games at a better time in their life. It's got nothing to do with the games. I firmly believe that good games have never been better in 2026. Games are great. It's just the worst games are worse and the better games are better. And that's all there is to it.
So let me ask you this. You don't like modern first-person shooters. You said you like Baldur's Gate. You like Diablo 2. It sounds to me like you're totally turned off from video games these days.
1000%.
Is that a correct statement? Or do you think there's anything you would actually like to do?
Like Resident Evil 9's coming out. I don't give a fuck about playing it. I'll buy it. I don't give a flying fuck about playing it. I could care less if that game does well or not. But it's going to be something different. It's something that will attract people that might not click on the stream. And I'll play it strictly for donations.
Smart business move, Jordy. You're making the right decision. Because if you don't like the job you're doing to make money, you have to think of the best use of your time. Jordy is at least being intellectually honest about something like this. He understands that he hates games, so he's making the best use of his time. He's not lying to himself. He actually has a pretty good sense of where he's at mentally. DSP, on the other hand, will lie to himself and his viewers and continue to say that games are his job as well as his passion, but please support. I'm not going to play this game unless I make money.
Like that's just the life I live. Like I don't give a fuck about Resident Evil 9. I don't care about Grand Theft Auto 6. They could come out tomorrow and I'll be like, all right, whatever.
So what do you want to do then? Honest question. I asked you this the other day and you didn't answer me.
I gave you the answer earlier today. I don't know. I'm just burned out. But the fact is I'm not allowed to be burned out. So like I just got to keep going.
Man, you are, I'm not exaggerating. And again, everyone's listening to this. I know they are. This is not a private conversation. You're in the same situation I was in, like maybe, let me think. Shit, 7-8 years ago.
Oh, damn. Info dump incoming. Here we go.
Because I got to the point where I was making videos on games every single day. And I was pumping them out at such a rapid pace, like covering. I could beat a game in like 2 days, right? And everyone knew me as Mr. YouTube, the guy who could beat a game in 2 fucking days. So everyone would flock to DSP videos because he can beat the game so quick, and then we can, get a fast opinion on it. It killed me. Like I just didn't care anymore about what I was doing. And then when I became a live streamer, it got different for me, because when I became a live streamer, there was no rush anymore. It was more about, hey, I'm with the audience. I'm talking with the audience. I'm chatting.
So your off-ramp from the monotony of ripping through games in 2 days was begging your audience? Okay, Phil, I guess keep going.
And while I'm playing a game like Zelda Breath of the Wild, which it stands out to me because that was one of the first games I ever live streamed, right? People started chatting with me about other stuff, and a lot of it was bullshit and had nothing to do with the game. But then people started talking with me about my experience with games and my experience with Zelda. And I was like, oh, I don't have to just talk anymore. I don't have to be stupid.
Well, you're still stupid. I mean, most people online are stupid, but you're especially stupid. Continue.
With, like, say, sexual comments or dumb swears all the time. I can just like talk with people about games. And since then, it was like an epiphany for me. Hanging out with people on the stream while I play games has made it so much fresher and so much better for me.
Okay, so instead of having at least one IRL friend, you chose to replace them all with your chatters? That doesn't seem healthy, Phil.
Now, even though I'll admit, sometimes I feel like I'm burnt out if I'm playing a game too long that I don't like so much. just that social experience makes it better. All right. But at the same time that I say that, I understand that just playing games 24/7 becomes so draining, especially if you don't like video games or you don't
And
like the games that are coming
now
out.
add 250 pounds to your body weight where walking hurts. And all you have is to sit down and look at a screen all day. That's my life.
And Wings, you have had multiple chances to try and get fit and get healthy. You had people willing to help you. The PKA guys were willing to help you. Keemstar hired a trainer for you before the boxing match. You had choices that you squandered. That's something you and DSP have in common.
You say things like, oh, I did want to ask you one question.
I mean, like people say, oh, go get a job. I want to go get a job. I do. Like, I'd love to be able to get up and be able to stand 8 hours a day and just go work and make money and not have to do this. I'd love to.
You can't.
I can't. I'm stuck.
Dude, you can't. There's no way you could do that. I understand
and
that.
that's the reason I'm trying to lose weight
that.
right now. It's like I want the weight to come off so I can go get a fucking job.
This is something that I really wish DSP would not have said to Jordy. I really don't like him telling Jordy what he can and cannot do as someone who doesn't know him well. I understand that Jordy is like a 400-pound fat man or whatever, but there's probably more that he could do. And to be supportive as a friend, talking about what you think he can't do versus what he can do is probably not the best thing. You want to try and be a positive stabilizing force, but then again, DSP has not had a real friend in over, I would say, 10 years, you could argue, but you could probably say 11 or 12, because you could say when he left Connecticut is kind of when his friendship ship sailed, if you get my meaning. But he clearly hasn't had a real friend. He doesn't know how to be supportive. He's trying to be supportive, but his narcissism just continues to shine through, and he's not actually listening to Wings. He's just talking down to him to make himself feel better.
For me, right now, everyone says, go get a job. I'm like, well, you're retarded, because if I get a job, I'm going to make way less than I'm making right now. You're an idiot.
Phil, it doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. You can get a job and still stream at night and on the weekends. It would be fine. You'd probably make more money than you do now because you'd give people an opportunity to miss you.
But I could walk out of my door right now and go apply for a ton of jobs, and I get them because I'm 175 pounds. You can't do that.
Not being fat is not something to put on your resume, Phil. There's plenty of fat dudes with good jobs.
And I get that. All right. I totally get that. And that's, that's something that's a huge added
Well, there's also the other weight of like, and you have this too, no matter what job you get, if somebody notices you, you've lost that job the day that somebody notices you.
That's right. And these people will never let us get a normal job. If they can find out where we work, they're going to try to mess with us, because that's another win for them. That's another video for them. That's another, adrenaline or endorphin, another endorphin rush for them, that they hurt someone on the internet that everyone hates, right? Yeah, I hear you, dude. I totally hear that.
It would at least be possible for you to get a 9-to-5 and remain anonymous about it. You could tell people you have a job, just don't leave any breadcrumbs to what it could be. And the likelihood of anybody finding out goes down dramatically. You should at least try before counting it out completely.
All right. So here's the thing. You cannot get an in-person job. And I've heard you say stuff like, "Oh, I'll get an IRL job." You say you do gig work. I bet you help your wife doing gig work. You don't do gig work yourself.
Excuse the hell out of me, DSP. That is so insulting. I am so surprised that Wings kept his cool here. Then again, if you think about him having low T, it kind of makes sense. But man, to just sit there and take that, amazing.
You help your wife doing gig work. I get that.
No,
right? Is that
no,
true?
that's not true. Like, I do gig work, and sometimes we do it together. But like, I do it myself. Like, I'm physically capable of driving a car and like getting in and out of a car, like, because you're sitting down most of the job. Like, you literally you go to Walmart and they put the groceries in the back seat and you just drive and put the groceries on the porch.
Even Wings, a 400-pound fat guy, has the concept of a real job and a work ethic. Puts him head and shoulders above DSP. And to think DSP is talking down to him? Who's in therapy here?
That's good to hear. I'm actually happy to hear that. You can at least do something.
And I do that more as just to be active, because I hate this.
I doubt, dude, to be honest, I doubt that you could do it enough to make a ton of money, right?
It makes money, but it's not something you'd live off of. I'd hate to live off of it. Like
I've
the way
I researched it a little bit.
the way I
about
do
the whole
gig work
tips and stuff.
is like I'd usually try to keep $5,000 floating.
Imagine the last time DSP saw $5,000. Amazing. Good job, Wings. Everyone should have an emergency fund. But DSP, no, he doesn't need one. He's had several good streams. Who needs savings when you've had multiple good streams in a row?
And if I need to borrow money, like for example, like land taxes came up just recently, right? I had car insurance and land taxes come up. That was like $3,600, right? I pulled it from my DoorDash fund, and now I'm going to pay myself back. So I start paying myself $300 a month back to that, and I also start dashing or whatever again till I get that $5,000 back. So instead of like borrowing it from a credit card or anything other place, that's the way I do it.
Right. That's smart. I'm actually happy to hear that you can do this stuff, because you have to understand, you say that on stream and you never elaborate, and your haters are crazy about, oh, he made it up, or, oh, that's just Kelly doing it, or whatever.
DSP, Mr. It's none of your business, you stupid mouth-drooling trolls, now wants Wings to share his financial info and what he's up to on stream? That is so incredibly rich, coming from a guy who won't go to the cookie store because he's afraid trolls will be there.
So that's good to get that out there. I'm glad to hear that you're actually getting out and doing other stuff than just streaming, and that you're capable of doing it. But
you also
that's
understand,
not sustainable.
My wife also has a master's degree. She has her own job as well.
Right. You have an additional income. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And thankfully, again, what all our detractors say, right, is always the worst possible nonsense. They have no idea what our real lives are like. Seriously, they have no fucking clue what our real lives are like, because if it was as bad as they said, we wouldn't be here, right? Like, we wouldn't be on this fucking planet. We wouldn't be able to keep sustaining if it was as bad as they think. They're just nuts. We have significant others who love us, who help us, who support us, who take care of us. These people are the worst dregs of society, who would never even understand what love means. Seriously, that's why they're able to hate someone on the internet as much as they do, because if they had love in their lives, they would not get it. They would not even understand that.
This is so reductive, and I can only speak from my own personal experience, but I have a lot of love in my life. I have family and friends that I talk to and spend time with regularly that I love. And there are even some people in the Vortex that I now consider lifelong friends, people I'd move a couch for, or a body in some cases. I've got a lot of love in my heart. It's just exceedingly fun to watch and laugh at you, man.
So I'm happy to hear that she's there for you, and it's not just you doing everything. That's awesome.
And since we're doing like that, like, I don't feel like, another thing with the weight loss is, like, I don't feel like I treat Kelly good enough as a husband because I don't have no libido.
Jordy, why would you say this on stream? With Dark Side Phil, of all people. This is what makes you a lol cow. Just stop talking. Change the subject. Dear God, man.
Right? So our romantic life could be so much more, but my body just doesn't make the chemicals needed for me to, like, push for that kind of stuff. So, like, it ends up, I don't know, I shouldn't be talking about this.
You shouldn't be talking about it publicly, that's for sure.
I
we can have a private conversation about it.
I just wish that I could be more than I am, right? Like, I wish I had a more manly thing.
No, and dude, I get it.
Do you, Phil? I'm not so sure. But I'm going to let you go for a minute and we'll see what happens.
Because every moment that I live, and the reason a lot of people make fun of me is they say, Phil, you're talking about working out. You're talking about getting healthy. What a joke. We don't believe you. And then they look at me on camera as like, oh, God, he's skinny. Yeah, of course I'm skinny. I'm not lying to you fucking idiots. I'm doing it for a reason, because I want to live longer for my wife.
Apparently you don't entirely get it, Phil. Wings wasn't talking about living longer for his wife necessarily. He was talking about satisfying her sexually. That's very different than you wanting to be around. He wanted to share in something with his wife. You just seem like you're scared medically, I don't know, and you want to live longer. Yours seems a little selfish, and Wings actually feels like he wants to be a better partner, and you just want to be around, I guess?
You know, I'm older than her. Not so much older. I think it's about 8-year
How old
difference.
are you?
I'm 43. I'm about to be 44 in April.
Because like
And Kat is.
I'm about to turn
No, go ahead.
40. I'm about to turn 40, and I'm starting to like look at movie actors that didn't live much fat. Like Dawson from Dawson's Creek died at 48 just recently.
Right.
And he wasn't a 400-pound land monster. And I'm like, dog, do I have 8 years left? Is that what it is? You know, it's like you start thinking about that shit.
Yeah. And you get to the point where I was feeling bad. I really was. I had pain in my joints.
Wings just told you about his thoughts on his own mortality, and you make this about you? The man was trying to connect with you, Phil. Don't you need a friend? Isn't that why you call them? Leave it to DSP to make everything about himself. He wasn't even listening to Wings.
I'm like, what am I doing? I'm over 40. I got to start working out. And I did it not for me. I don't care about how I look. What do I give a shit? I want to be here longer for my wife. I do. I want to be happy, healthy, taking care of her, and doing things that, I realized, why am I being so lazy when I can do this minor thing and be better for her? And I started doing it, and it became, a routine. And now I'm so happy because now we're both getting better together. And everyone makes fun of her for her weight. She's not fat anymore.
I sincerely doubt that, but go on.
But she does not want to come on camera because she doesn't want to give anyone any kind of entertainment.
Well, they won't give her
factor.
credit anyway. Like Kelly gained some weight recently, but like Kelly lost a lot of weight. And like they still called her fat when she was like 140 pounds. I'm like, Kelly's an average weight woman now. Like she's the exact weight she's supposed to be. And you're still calling her fat. It's like, okay.
Right. And they always will. They don't care.
Right.
They're only there to hate on and destroy and tear down. They're not there to acknowledge anything.
No, trolls are not going to acknowledge your accomplishments at all. The difference is that you have no idea how to parse valid criticism from the invalid. This is something you may be better at if you had more normal, regular friends. Because a good thing that friends do is they check you, and you can start to get a feel for what criticisms are valid and real, and what is just trolling bait. That's something that you don't have. That's something that you sorely need. Best I can say is post what you want to post, read the comments silently, and keep it pushing. It's what I've always done, and it's worked for me.
They won't acknowledge that I look better. They're just, oh, he's on Ozempic. No, I'm not. I've never had a drug like that in my body. I'm working out. But, to them, anything is a clip. Anything is a piece of content, right? To make money. So anyway, honest question for you while I got you here, because this is what, honestly, when I had
I'm hard to talk to.
Dude, you are very hard to talk to.
I cut the world. I'm very anti-people.
You understand why I jumped on the chance when you said, oh, I'll call Phil. I'm like, oh my God. My wife is asleep next to me in the bed. Okay, seriously. But she sleeps with noise canceling stuff on because our neighbors are so fucking loud. Okay, that's another story for another day.
My Theo theory for this is that Kat does use noise canceling headphones, but Phil is the neighbor, the loud neighbor, in quotes. Since he's snoring next to her in the bed, presumably. I think she's lying to you, Phil. I think your wife is lying to you.
Okay, but I can just do random stuff at night, not loud, but calm stuff. And he said, oh my God. He said, we can have a conversation. I'm going to have this conversation right now. Let me jump because I tried so hard to get you on my show. It's not about getting you on the show. It's about having a conversation with you. Okay, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I care about you. I'm going to be honest with you, Jordy. I care about you. I do. I see what you're going through. It's very similar to things that I've been through or am going through. And I know how painful it is. I know how stressful it is. And to me, to see you go through this same shit is like, man, I wish I could help him because I've been through that. And here we go. I've been through people trying to join my lobbies and be fucked up to me and say stuff on mic. And I've been through these things. So, all right. So anyway, I got you on a conversation here. All right. Honest question. What do you want to do? What would be online, because you cannot do an offline job?
I just want to remind everyone that Phil has a 17-year work gap, and he's the last person that should be giving life or career advice. Let's hear this.
You can't. And we know this, right? You could do gig work, but that's not a full-time job.
No, it's just side money.
You're
like, realistically, where I want to go in the future with this is, like, I was kind of hoping to transfer this over to, like, being segment wise. Like, the root cause is, like, I want to do, like, a podcast on, like, Friday, and then, like, Thursday do, like, a Dark Souls stream with Kelly, and, like, segment it to, like, it's different things, but it's more planned out. But like, I don't know, like, depression and uncertainty messes with a lot of it.
Do you think you could ever do something consistent?
Yeah,
because
100%. I did Lolcat Live for 2 years.
No, you did, right? You did, but first of all, Lolcat Live. Hold on a second. Lolcat Live is so. You know why I didn't do it, right? You understand why I could not do that stuff, right? Like,
to get one thing straight, I believe Lolcow Live was a job for Wings. I believe he was gainfully employed for 2 years, and I believe he received tax forms from Keemstar relative to Lolcow Live. So, contrary to anything Phil says next, that was a job, and according to Wings, he saved doctor money from Lolcow Live. So, in every sense of the word, it was a real job, a realer job than begging on stream.
Yeah,
that's not I understand why you did content.
And asking people for their mailing address so they can send you a spoon is? What is positive content? I want DSP to watch his own content and then define for me what positive content is, because his content ain't it.
It's not positive content, but at the same time, like, you know why I did it? Because like the money was there, and it's like I needed to play catch up because I went broke in 2015.
Yeah, you were playing accelerated catch up, exactly. And you bit your teeth and you bit your tongue and you ran forward and you did what you needed to do for your family for like 2 years, and you made all that money and you banked it. And again, I'm going to say this again. I respect you for that. I can't do that shit.
I would say this, but I still consider Boogie and Key my friend. Like, if they asked me to be a part of something, I probably will. I mean, like, I didn't like where Lolcow was heading. Right, I didn't like that it was like a 24-hour telethon, where it's like it felt like we were running a church more than a podcast. Right, like give to Jesus. Like, everything was like, how much mustard can we dump on our head to make money?
And right there, Wings demonstrates shame at a level Phil has never quite articulated. Wings knows what he has to do to pay the bills sometimes is shameful. DSP does not have nearly the self-awareness that Jordy Jordan has. If he did, he would understand and realize that the best money that DSP can make is to be trolled. And DSP would be putting up his own troll clips, and he would be feeding the whole ecosystem, but he refuses to. He's swimming upstream because he thinks people like him unironically, and they don't. They do not. No one outside of the most emotionally stunted losers like DSP. And I think maybe he knows that, but he doesn't want to admit it. And to play into the trolling would be an admission of that, and I think that would break his ego ultimately.
Right. And that's not content. In my opinion, that's not content. That's the clown acting, smashing a pie in his own face. And yes, a clown is a full-time job. It really is. Yeah. There's clowns out there who make full-time money.
Boogie is a full-time clown right now. And I want to say he's my friend. And like, I've called him a couple times, like, and told him he had to slow down on certain jokes because it's going to hurt him in the long run. But like it bothers me to my core that Boogie is like ripping his house up for like Locale Live right now. It's like have you seen the state of Boogie's like streaming room right now? It's like,
Oh
dude,
no, I don't follow that stuff, man. I swear to you, and you might not believe me, I have never watched Lolcow live once. I've only seen clips of it on social media. Once I watched Kino Casino reacting to it. I have never watched the show. I have zero desire to ever watch that kind of content, nor do I want to be a part of it. You know, for me, the content that I put on the internet, I want it to feel like it's something that someone can watch today, 10 days from today, 10 weeks from today, 10 years from today, and be like, it's positive content, it's fun, it's gaming or whatever, it's a podcast. It's something that can be fun no matter what. I don't want to put something on the internet that feels like it's harmful.
Well, you do that. You do that every day. Are you really saying that telling someone to suck your dick is not harmful? That is going to be your legacy. Crash outs and meltdowns and begging are your legacy, and you got to live with that. You'll live with that and you'll like it.
Or it's dated, or you know what I'm saying?
well,
like I
feel like I know what you're saying, but I feel like to me, it feels like you're conditioned to do it this way because this is the way that the trolls won't fuck with you. Because like I was
talk about my trolls
because I was conditioned to do things forever just to try to avoid getting ire.
Oh, I don't give a two shits about what my trolls say about me anymore. I don't, dude.
X to gout, you absolutely do, and we are in the era of daily crash outs and daily troll discussion segments, and I'm here for it. This is actually what got me to make videos again after pretty much a year hiatus from the channel, so welcome back to me, I guess. This is a great era for DSP Salt, and I love it so far.
I want to make a legacy that in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, someone stumbles upon Dark Side Phil because I know no one's going to care about me eventually. It's going to happen, right? But someone will find the channel and be like,
I'm not going to sit here and be delusional. Like anybody's going to show up to like one of my Red Sex streams 20 years from now. If that shit might get one view a year, right? It's like to me, it's like bubblegum content. Like you consume it right then and there, and once it goes out into the trash can, it's never to be seen again.
Wings understands the YouTube game. He 100% does. YouTube streams are generally consumed live, and you may get VOD viewers, a week or two after it's out. But most streams, unless it's a really fucking banger, or it's on a really compelling topic, or it's educational and people will go back to it, I would say 99% of streams are watched live, and then within the first 2 weeks of when they become a VOD, and then they are never seen or surfaced in recommendations or the discovery features again. Wings gets it, and that's perfectly okay. You need to treat every stream and every video post as something that matters, as your one chance to get people to click on, to listen to you, and hear what you have to say. And DSP does the opposite. He says, there'll always be another stream. There's always tomorrow. But you have to treat every stream and every video post as a chance for you to make an impression.
that's because you're playing Red Sec.
I mean, like,
Seriously.
Right, but like, what's the difference between that and like Breath of the Wild?
Because, all right, I'll give you an example. All right, the other day, I'm streaming, and someone joins my stream, and do you believe them or not? I don't know. Someone says, wow, I just found your Heavy Rain playthrough.
Anyone finding a, let's say, 16-year-old playthrough in 2026 is a troll. That is the biggest troll meme. Heavy Rain and Walking Dead and a couple of others. It's like Heavy Rain, Walking Dead, and Fallout are the meme playthroughs. And the fact that he doesn't get it completely demonstrates that he has no idea what's going on as far as what the trolling meta is. And that's why he's so easy to bait, and that's why we get stupid conversations like this that I can talk over, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy Rain, that game came out in 2010. Yeah, I found your Heavy Rain playthrough, and I loved it. And I just decided to check out your live content, and to be honest, your content is nothing like it used to be. But that's cool to know that someone who did a playthrough of Heavy Rain when it came out in 2010 is still live streaming in 2026, you know? And if you truly make something that is representative of an honest reaction at the time that something is happening, then that content can be immortal.
That's super niche, though. It's like let's take Burnt Peanut back into this conversation, right? How many people in the world right now do you think is watching Burnt Peanut's Arc Raider live stream from last week? I don't. It might be a couple thousand because he's so big, but like by the time that you get a year out, that stream is going to get the same views as like the Heavy Rain. You might convert one person over to a Phil, winner at that point, right? That happens, right? You find somebody that's into a really niche market, and they find you, and they just adapt to your personality. By the way, I'm sorry, Sweetie Man, thank you for the 15 gifted subs. Thank you so much. But that's a Bigfoot. That's what I call a Bigfoot. That's the exception, not the rule. Right? The rule is 99.9995% of the people that interact with this content are going to do it when it comes, the day it comes out, and the time, and that's when they're going to consume it. And very, very, very few people are ever going to consume it after the fact.
That's correct. And you're always going to get the insane exponential, attention as soon as something comes out. You're right. But at the same time, what you're talking about Burnt Peanut, and you're talking about online games. That's very different from a game that is.
But Heavy Rain's
how can I say?
Heavy Rain's is a game, right? But it's not that much different. That's a Let's Play-ish game, right? Because you weren't live streaming in 2010. You were actually doing Let's Plays in 2010.
Yep, that's right.
Because live streaming didn't really pop off until 2013, 2014.
And I was behind the curve.
Yeah.
I was late to the game on live streaming. I was doing the on-demand videos for a very long time, and I was one of the prominent guys, particularly doing the narrative-based stuff, like the Heavy Rains, the Walking Dead, when it came out from Telltale Games. Those games got me giant attention because I was reacting to narrative stories. And that's what I mean. There's a difference today between someone who's reacting to or not reacting, but playing an online-oriented multiplayer experience. You're right. Today, if you play the first stream of a game, day one, you're going to get attention. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, you need to have an audience who's plugged in. If you don't, they don't really care. No one's going to jump in, you know what I mean? Unless they hear that, he's doing something innovative with a multiplayer game, they're not going to jump in. But when you do a playthrough of something on launch day, that is, a one-time experience. That day one, when I played Elden Ring, I stuck in the entry-level area, and I fought that stupid Golden Knight guy. I forgot his name. Until I beat him. And everyone to this day still quotes it. Oh my God, Phil, you were an idiot, but it's the most entertaining thing because
it's unique. It's what people remember it as. But I want to bring this up though, and I think you're disregarding this. Is trends happen, especially in the online space. And I'm gonna reference this. There's a girl that I know you watch. She makes video content of old games like
I'm
Juggernaut.
Sorry, baby.
If you're gonna have these conversations, can you please let me know?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're being insanely loud.
I am. I'm sorry. I was too loud, guys.
I got to feel in trouble.
And there she is, folks. We have proof of life of Catherine Burnell. So at least we know she's still alive. I do find the timing a little bit spooky, though. She slid in right when Early Bird got mentioned, and Phil was being insanely loud. Picturing this, I can't help but feel that their relationship is very, very sad. I have to confess that there are people who I might call at 2 a.m. if I needed something, or maybe if I needed someone to talk to. But imagine being next to your wife, in bed, while she's wearing noise-canceling headphones, presumably having to work in a matter of hours. I don't exactly know what her schedule's like. Talking to Wings of Redemption on stream in a therapy session where you are pouring your heart out to another grown-ass man and you're saying things you cannot say to your wife. That is sad. DSP is not happy. He is not doing good. Don't believe anything he says. But at the same time, I think he and Kat, in terms of their relationship, are exactly where they want to be. Convenient roommates. And that's all there is to it.
But
yeah, I'm sorry. My wife wants to go to sleep. I'm sorry, guys.
but
This is why I don't do this stuff at night, and I didn't know I was being this loud, so I gotta go.
okay.
It was a fun conversation, though, and this is why I would like to have you on my podcast.
Meet my bestie.
Well, can I finish this point before you leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I know you watch a content critic called Early Bird, right? You reference that, like Early Bird. She's like she makes like old video games. It's like she does like little video essays on them. Well, like that's what's popular on YouTube right now, the video essay. And what's going to be popular 2 years from now might not be the video essay, but right now that's the new hotness, and that's what replaced Let's Plays. And Let's Plays still happen, but they're less popular than they were back in whatever year Let's Plays were popular. But like that's what I'm saying is like the content you make now has to be ever forming and ever changing, and that's one of the parts I'm struggling with. Is because I know I can't make fucking video essays. I sound like fucking George Bush. I got a Southern accent, and I'm just witty.
I think you can make video essays. It's just the problem is making that kind of content on YouTube today is so risky because you're at the mercy of the algorithm.
Everyone's at the mercy of the algorithm, theoretically, but I actually find edited content to be a lot lower risk in terms of putting it out because you can choose your words carefully, you can make sure everything's perfect, where you're way more likely to stick your fucking foot in your mouth on a stream as you do every single day. So I actually think edited content would be a very good thing for DSP if he were willing to grind at it a little bit and really hone the craft and really practice. He's not going to, though, because it's way easier for him to beg on stream and monetize that way.
Where at any moment they could demonetize your video. I had a channel where I made video essays before
KO
they were
Gaming?
even called video essays. It was called KO Gaming. And I had 1 million view video. And within 5 months of me working hard on that channel, it got demonetized for no reason.
What he actually means by no reason is that channel got demonetized as soon as Machinima was no longer able to protect him with their music library. He was using licensed music that he no longer had the rights for. So it's not no reason. It happened because you fell out with Machinima. They couldn't protect you. So you abandoned that channel and you turned it into a landfill. Until you brought it back in 2023, or was it 2024, to create DSP Reacts so that you could monetize quickly and easily. Wow, it's amazing how the cycle repeats itself.
It's just not worth it. The money today is with live streaming, not with the video essays, unless you find success with the algorithm, which is very rare. And even then, when you find that success, it's fleeting. It's not long term. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. I 100% agree with you because I can think of a guy right now named Clown that he did a lot of Elden Ring video essays, and I loved him to death. And he's quit YouTube at this point because they take so much time and energy to make. And at the end of the day, it's like you got to hit a home run every time you make one. If you have one that underachieves, you put 40 hours of your life into something that didn't make you no money.
I think DSP and Wings come from an old guard from the time when it was very easy to monetize on YouTube and there wasn't a lot of competition in the money-making space. Now there is, to the point where almost every channel worth watching on YouTube is monetized. They might be making pennies, like me. I'm making pennies per month on ad rev, but any channel worth watching, any channel you put effort into is going to be monetized. But the majority of those are not making a living. The majority of people are on other platforms. They're on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, even Facebook Reels or whatever it's called, Instagram, all of that. A lot of people diversify their platforms a lot more, and they're like scraping a penny here or there. I feel like Wings and DSP are unnecessarily putting all of their eggs in the YouTube basket when they really should be making short form content that goes on to other, because the majority of people that make money on the internet don't make a living. It's not like it used to be in 2013 when Machinima was just printing money with these guys. They're stuck in an antiquated mindset and things are so much different. That's half the reason why this conversation is happening the way it is.
Exactly. And imagine that's your business. And then all of a sudden, you know, it one day it's good, 1 month it's good, 6 months it's good, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from you for no reason. You didn't even do anything wrong. It's just gone. And that's why I stopped doing that on-demand shit. Like, I used to only do on-demand videos. And when I saw stuff getting demonetized, I was like, nah, I'd much rather have a live audience contribute to what I'm doing, and that way they can't just steal that from me. So anyway, good conversation. But yeah, I gotta go, man. It was a good one, though. I wish I could get you on my show. I wish that we could work together in the future, but you're so hard to reach, dude. I don't even know what else to say.
I'm very anti-person. All right, Phil. Thank you for stopping by, man.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Good night, buddy.
Bye.
That's it. That's the whole damn thing. I just want to point out something about the last thing Wings said. He said, I'm very anti-person, and then he said goodbye to DSP. That was him saying, no, I don't really want to talk to you. That's a very nice way, very diplomatic way you might say, no, I'm not really in the mood to talk to you or anybody else. And DSP just doesn't take those hints. But Wings figured he would raise that flag one last time. But thank you so much for listening. I've got a couple of other things in the works. I'm not exactly sure when those will go up. It's whenever I have time. I don't have nearly as much time as I would like for YouTube on either of my channels lately, but I am going to make an effort to do more. Thanks for sitting in on this one. I'll see you next time. Bye.